So welcome at NAB 2019. I'm at the Teradek booth and we're going to take a look at everything that is new with Teradek, and it's a lot.
RedShark's NAB coverage is brought to you by New Tech, G Technology, Blackmagic Design, and Adobe.
So Greg, talk us through it. I think the first new thing is the Teradek 4K, like the Bolt 4K.
Yeah, so Bolt 4K, it's a revolutionary new technology. It's not just another Bolt, it's the result of 10 years of R&D, and it's got a new piece of silicon in there, the new Amimon chipset. It's able to send 4K P60 video at the same uncompressed quality with HDR, 10-bit HDR, and no latency. So everyone's used to the Bolt, and now we're able to send up to 8 times as much information over the same bandwidth, the same performance. But in addition to the image quality, it's also incredibly improved link connectivity, and it's much more resilient. So in worse RF environments, longer ranges, going around corners, you have a much better link connectivity. We've also increased the performance of the ranges. So each level of the Bolt, it used to be 500, 1000, 3000. We're bumping it all up. We're able to bump it all up by 50%. So it's a 750 and a 1500 that we're showing here at the show.
And is it then, because all these new technologies in like one unit, is it now $1 bazillion?
No, actually the price is pretty affordable. $4,000 gets you a 750. So I feel like it's still pretty accessible for something that's this totally new technology in a new segment of the market, 4K wireless.
And this is going to change sets and how crews work dramatically, I guess, because for some people it may not be a big deal going from 1080 to 4K, but it's a huge deal, right?
Right, so we've been shooting in high resolution video for years and years now, but the monitoring workflow has been lagging way behind, and I think a big part of that is the ease of use of having wireless video. People don't want to plug in cables anymore, and getting the type of cables to send 4K are quite short, and it's just cumbersome. So what we're doing with this is we're bridging that gap, and the next domino to fall will be more accessible monitors. But for now, we're providing that link, and I think that a lot of people will realize that they do want to actually monitor in 4K because you get to see HDR, you get to see whether things are sharp, how things resolve with detail, and all those aspects of the actual image that you're shooting. Now you can see it.
And you're future-proofing your workflow, basically, if you buy into this now.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so what else is new?
Okay, so we improved the radio link. The video modem is sending all this extra information and the stronger link. We added a bunch of cool user interface things as well as user experience. So you can use up to 6 receivers now. We bumped it up by 50%. We were able to make the devices interoperable. So in the old generation with a 500, you would have to use a 500, the 1000, you have to use a 1000. Now you're going to be able to use any Bolt 4K transmitter with any Bolt 4K receiver, mixing and matching, and the only limitation will be whatever the maximum range of your device. So if you have a 1500 and a 750, the 750 will still be 750. No more sidekicks. Everything is basically a sidekick or universal receiver. We've also put Bluetooth in all of the transmitters and receivers, and we made a free iOS app that lets you do all kinds of configuration, pairing, monitoring of the system status, and all from the really nice ease of use of a cell phone. What's nice is that when you're in a prep, oftentimes a bunch of people are setting up wireless devices and they're fighting with each other over the one little slice of 5 gigahertz band that's in there, and this will let you just pair over Bluetooth. So we have really strong encryption. We're really the only company that does fully encrypted wireless video. And what we do is you send this super encrypted key over Bluetooth that lets the transmitter pair to the receiver, and it takes about 5 seconds as opposed to the 60 seconds that older models used to do.
Maybe a very practical one, but what about power? How much power does the unit actually the track?
Right now it's taking about 15 watts, so not insane, but it's definitely using more power because of the 4K video processing. But the radio is actually lower power, and it's sending a very low amount of RF out of there. It's certified to be within 10 centimeters of your head, and we're probably going to get it certified within 5 centimeters pretty soon now. So it's total. I mean, 10 centimeters is like not very long, right? So it's totally safe, and that's a huge focus for us because we know that people use this near their bodies, and we want it to be safe for them.
Yeah. So you showed us this last year in a very kind of temporary setup. Now it's finished, right?
Yeah. So last year we kind of had it hacked together way of showing the Teradek RT hand controllers integrated with small HD monitors. Today at the show, we've basically finished and launched the new ecosystem of Teradek RT wireless lens control, along with the integration with small HD monitors. What this right here is called is the Control 3. It's a totally redesigned hardware and software platform for focus, iris, and zoom control, and we have even the ability to add more axes with these additional controls here. It's full of cool technology. You know, we put a brand new processor in there, and we've added a low energy Bluetooth radio so that you can link together the devices and share files, and as well we made a free app. One of the things that I think is the coolest feature of this though is when you do lens mapping, you know, you can create a lens table that's stored in the hand controller, and then you connect it to a Teradek, to a small HD monitor, and you get a real-time overlays of all of the lens information. So when you look at the monitor, you can see all the different lens data overlays. You've got your focal length here, your focus marks here. You can add an iris on this side. We have it off right now. It'll also calculate depth of field, which are those two orange lines. And we've got integration with Cine tape. So you'll see this little red line dancing around, and this number just gives you kind of all the tools that you need as a focus puller, and it will work on all the small HD monitors.
And this basically, because of the rise of full frame, this kind of makes a lot of sense, right? Because we now have to be even more precise with our focusing. You know, have more tools.
Well, exactly. I mean, everyone is shooting wide open, and everyone needs a monitor to make sure that they're absolutely sharp. And this gives you one less thing to look at. You don't need to look at your lens. You don't even really need to look at your knob anymore. You can see all the information with your video here. So you can look at your subject, relation to the camera, and then your video, and you've got all the info that you need.